world class too. It seemed like you were there like more than any world class coming in for this match, that match. What are your memories of working for world class?
You mean for the Von Erichs?
Yes.
Well, I'd go in there to maybe for the TV exposure.
Yeah.
It was on cable TV and it was going all over, so I'd just go in there and make a lot of TV tapes for them. And then if the TV people wanted me in there. But for the territory, I didn't care too much for it.
No.
Because Bruiser Brody was there. I liked to wrestle him. You know, the Von Erichs, they were so-so, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, but then you had Killer Brooks and all these other guys. The Funks were in there at the time, and you know.
Yeah. What are your memories of the Bruiser Brody feud and your matches with Bruiser Brody?
He was a pro.
Yeah.
When I say a pro, he knew how to produce, but he learned his style from King Curtis. Him and King Curtis was good friends. See, Curtis started all that. Hush, hush. It was King Curtis who used to walk the chairs. It was King Curtis who used to take the chairs, throw them up in the air. It was King Curtis.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see, a lot of people don't remember King Curtis, but King Curtis was the one who done a lot of it.
Yeah.
When you stab King Curtis, he could walk the chairs. He'd fall over the top of the chairs. You know what I mean? Like he was dead.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of guys in this business who are pros. You know what I mean? But a lot of people never heard about them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, you got to realize something. Like a long time ago, when they had cable TV, like in the 50s, right? So the wrestling business, it goes to a peak. And when it goes to a peak, it's got to come down. And then when it comes down, it dies for maybe 10 years or 15 years. Then all of a sudden, it explodes again. You see, and that's what's going to happen with like with all the other TVs, you know, the cable TVs. Right now, it's real hot, but it's just a matter of time that it's gonna fade out again.
Right.
And then all the little small territories are gonna come back again.
Really, you think the small territories will come back again?
Come back.
Wow. You think it's hard in the wrestling business without all these territories to get young talent for the big territories?
Well, when they had like the small territories, you could go into Chicago, wrestle in Chicago, because they never had cable TV. You could stay there for a year or 2 years.
Right.
Then you could move on to maybe Calgary, Alberta, Saskatoon, or Vancouver, or if you went into New York, nobody knew you were in New York.
Right.
You see what I mean? But now, since they got cable, they know where everybody's at.
One place that we've never seen you is the World Wrestling Federation. Maybe back in the WWF, I don't know, but as far as the World Wrestling Federation, we've never seen you there. And for a guy that's been everywhere, the question has to stick out as to why, of all places, Abdullah the Butcher has not been in the World Wrestling Federation.
WWF, you're talking about?
Yes.
Well, they take me for, like, what's it, like an outlaw. A lot of people don't want me in New York because of my style. They figure that I overpower them, you know?
Right.
And they say, oh, he's a gimmick man, he's this, you know. And I would love to go in there before I retire, before I get out, before whatever. But the main part about it is that there's too many people who knock me.
Really?
You know what I mean? We don't want to build a Butcher here because, you know, they fear me.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Is it more or less the guys over there on top that you come in and take their spot, or just fear wrestling? Yeah, take their spot. Yeah. Because
every time I went into a territory, if the territory was down, I would go in there and bring it up.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And the guys, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, he's using the fork, he's using chairs, he's using this, he's using that.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of hard to follow me, you know, after I get finished with a match.
It seems like from what you're saying here, you were a solution back in those days. That if a territory was going in, bring it. If that was going down, bring it up. Abdullah the Butcher. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want no check. This is cash, right?
This is cash. Do you feel spending a majority of your career in Japan? Do you feel the competition is different in Japan than it is in the United States, and why?
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
You've got guys who've who ferry you over there. It's like a lot of the American boys went over there, a lot of the guys from England, whatever, went over there.
Mm-hmm.
When they see you wrestle, they say, damn, we can't follow this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's, every territory is the same thing. I mean, it's like, I remember like Hogan, like when he first started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Hogan was a good guy. You know what I mean? People say, oh, we like Hogan because he wasn't a top man.
Right.
As soon as he got to be a top man, everybody, oh, he's no good.
Yeah.
Why he's no good? Because he's a top man.
All right.
You see what I mean? That's it.
Right. Back in the older days, maybe even when you were breaking in, were a lot of the veterans at that time helpful to you? They give you a lot of
Nobody helped me.
Really?
I did everything on my own.
Really?
Everything.
Wow. Are you a little bitter for that, or do you take pride in that?
No, I take pride in it.
Yeah.
Because I take pride in it because nobody gave me nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I worked it, and I got it where people say Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even like the younger generation in Japan and even like in the United States, you know, I walk down the street, it's Abdullah the Butcher.
A lot has been said, good, bad, and otherwise, about Antonio Inoki. A guy that's had tremendous power at tremendous times, and you worked for Antonio Inoki in New Japan.
I worked for all of them.
Yes. But Antonio Inoki specifically, you know, any opinions of working for Antonio Inoki, what he's like to...
He's a gentleman. He's a good man.
Yeah.
And well, he's a professional. And it's like anything else. He was up top for many years.
Yeah.
But everybody gets to the point where they think that I can do it all by myself.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And he went into politician. He started being a politician and stuff like that. And all of a sudden he started coming down.
Yeah.
But for many years, he was drawing thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah. Do you think it hurts in Japan when since when somebody says they're going to retire over there, it's taken a lot more seriously than when a wrestler goes on TV in the United States say they're going to retire? Do you think it hurts when guys like Onita and Inoki, when they say they're going to retire and they have the big retirement match and then they come back a couple years later?
Well, you got to put it this way. Life is what? A gimmick.
Right.
To draw money is what?
Gimmick.
A gimmick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if somebody jumps up and says, I'm going to retire, they might jump up and say, okay, I'm going to retire. Maybe 2 years later, 3 years later,
Yeah.
they're what? They're back drawing more people.
Yeah.
That's it.
I might be wrong, but from what I understand, as far as your Japanese career, you originally started with All Japan, went to New Japan, and then went to All Japan. Right. Correct. Why? It seems in Japan anyway. Back in the earlier days, people didn't jump. You stayed, you know, where you were. And why did you jump so often?
Because number one, I worked my ass off. When I went to Japan, it was just me who was the top man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now today they have 10 guys who are on top. I done it all. I done everything to draw people. You know, I used to go in my room, think of different things, how to draw people, right? And they didn't give me the credit for that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and Baba was together for many, many years. And when they tried to shaft Baba, you understand what I mean? When they tried to shaft him, well, there's a lot of things I can't mention about this.
Sure.
But when they tried to, you know, shaft him, I was in his corner. When he started his new company, you understand? Because him and Inoki was together.
Right.
When they started their new company, I went with Baba. And I told the TV people, they asked me, if Baba starts his company, would you stay with Baba? I said, yes. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was it. So when people don't give you what you really deserve, you're supposed to do what?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You got to run. You see. Everybody was skipping in Japan.
Okay.
Because when they had like, the two groups, I mean, you had other guys switching.
Okay.
And Baba would bring them back. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was the same thing with me. When I switched and I told these people, you know what I mean, this man's going to give me this here, blah, 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 stuff like that. So they knew I was leaving.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
So they didn't come up to me and say, well, okay, we'll do this for you. You understand? But they didn't do it. So when I switched, you understand what I mean? when his territory, like when he bought in all these other guys from Inoki's office, Tiger Singh and all these guys, when they bought him in.
Yeah.
And then maybe a year went good.
Yeah.
And when it started dropping, they called two people back. The King, Abdullah the Butcher, the King, Bruiser Brody. And we bought it up.
Right.